All right. Thanks, Jesse, and it's great to be with you all here today. All right, so I thought for my talk, I would just zoom out for a minute, talk about a little of the history of how did we get here. So Coinbase was founded 13 years ago, and our mission is to increase economic freedom in the world. We think crypto is the most important technology to help go do that. So what does economic freedom mean? Well, it means it's your money. You should be able to do whatever you want with it, just basic property rights. Many people in the world, they don't have this, and it's foundational to all human progress. It means that we should cut out the middlemen that are taking high fees and slowing down every transaction in the economy. It means we want permissionless access for everyone to have fast and cheap and global payments. Anybody who has a smartphone should be able to exist on a level playing field here. And ultimately, crypto is about freedom. It's about individual sovereignty. And if we can create this layer of financial freedom for people all over the world and update the financial system with crypto, it's going to accelerate human progress. Now, we've been at this a long time. Back in 2013, the Coinbase app launched. We've helped millions of people buy crypto and get a little bit of it to enter into this economy. But that's just the first step in our vision. And these types of products, these regulated financial service products or custodial wallets like the Coinbase app, they do have some limitations, right? We have to ask a lot
Кто
of
вдруг не понимает, что происходит?
collect information from every customer
Сейчас
who wants
идет
to
презентация
onboard. It's very high
Coinbase,
friction.
их нового продукта.
If we want to launch in a new country, we have to go
Прям в прямом
one
эфире.
country at a time and
Сейчас
set
скажу,
up a
сколько
local
людей
entity,
смотрит.
get a local license from
166
regulators.
тысяч человек в лайве
And
смотрит.
there's a
Представляете,
limitation on certain assets and
насколько
services we
уже
can put into these applications
криптоиндустрия
for
большая,
regulated
что
financial service
презентации
business.
Coinbase
So we always thought
могут
that,
собрать так много людей.
once we had the bridge from fiat to crypto, we
Всем
needed to
привет.
make a new kind of app that would actually allow permissionless access for everyone all over the world and really be more of a self-custodial wallet where you control your own funds. So it's not a financial service business, it's just more
Я
like
не
a
думаю, что
software
токены
product that can
представят,
launch all over the
кстати.
world
Я думаю,
from day
что
one.
больше будет про приложение
So
какое-то идти.
we started this journey, actually back in 2017, we started to think about self-custodial wallets. And we launched this app called Toshi, named after Satoshi Nakamoto. Many of you probably never saw or heard about this. It was an early experiment where we were trying to work out the bugs on some of this technology. And it evolved over the years. We turned it into something called Coinbase Wallet. But these self-custodial wallets were always a little bit too challenging to use for the average user. You know, you had to install a Chrome extension in your browser if you wanted to use these on the web. There was a 12-word seed phrase you had to write down. If you lost it, you lost all your money.
Вообще. Скажите вообще в чат, напишите, какое соотношение моего голоса к звуку, как бы, при трансляции, как слышно меня, когда я говорю на фоне трансляции и так далее. Но это не новый кошелек. Это будет, я думаю, супер app. Конкурент World App, возможно, Twitter'у. Привет, привет всем.
How do we make this kind of like, you know, that Netscape moment that the internet had, or the iPhone moment for mobile? And, you know, Jesse initially came to me, he was so excited about this. He was like, Brian, I want like $1 billion budget and 60 headcount, and I'm gonna go make this happen. And I was like, well, why don't you start with like 2 or 3 people? And, you know, innovation usually happens with small teams, you know, the 2 pizza team.
Nice.
Let's start with that, and we'll see how it goes. And so he got to work. He started iterating on it. You know, sometimes big companies, they give the bear hug of death to these exciting new little ideas. But, you know, new ideas are fragile. They're like a little plant coming out of the ground. You have to create a safe space for them to grow and see what's going to turn into a big
людей
oak
смотрит,
tree.
это просто безумие какое-то, если честно, просто полнейшее безумие. Просто представьте, криптоконференцию Coinbase 200 тысяч человек, это в Твиттере только, я не знаю, может они где-то еще на каких-то площадках стримят, но это безумие.
Different pieces of the puzzle. New people were coming on chain, especially in emerging markets, people who had the biggest unmet
Странно,
need.
что на YouTube, кстати, не пустили.
And we started to see this thing blossom over time and really start to grow. And I think we have the nucleus of this new on-chain economy happening today with,
Ставьте сразу лайки, раз уже зашли на трансляцию, можете YouTube забустить. Больше людей увидят презентацию Coinbase.
And we started to actually put a dent in some of these core usability challenges that were blocking this Netscape moment from happening. You know, we needed first like a medium of exchange. Bitcoin is a great store of value, but to have a medium of exchange, we now have trusted stablecoins like USDC from Circle. We fixed that onboarding problem with the 12-word phrase. You know, you can now sign up with just an email address with a smart wallet. instead of sending to like a long string of random characters, which was always a little scary for people, you can now send to a human readable name with ENS and base names. And I want to give a big shout out to some of the folks who worked on the social graph, the open protocols for that.
В принципе, сейчас и так, как бы уже постмаркет, сейчас, вряд ли будет какая-то реакция, рынки закрыты. То есть там на постмаркете трейдится, но там не такие объемы серьезные. Хотя премаркет может скорректироваться на самом-то деле, да.
I think we're finally at this moment as an industry, really, it took innovation across all these different companies and foundations and groups and individual people. We've got these Lego pieces. How can we start to assemble these into that new app that creates the on-chain economy for 1 billion people and actually makes it usable for regular people who don't even know anything about crypto or how it works? I think we're right on the cusp of doing that. And I'm going to invite Jesse back on stage. He's going to show you what this app looks like in a minute.
О, все, походу
Before we do
начинается.
that, Jesse, why don't you come on stage? All right, we're gonna do a selfie here on stage with all of you. So you're gonna be in the background, and when this app launches later today, we're gonna mint this photo on chain. It's gonna be something you might want to own. I don't know. We can see how it works. Okay, let's do it. Hey, everybody say based on 3. 1, 2,
Справа от Брайана Джейси Полек, это считается как создатель бейса, курирует бейс. Вот.
Thank you, Brian.
Evolving base.
And thank you all again for being here. And it's time to talk about what's next for Base. And before we do that, I do want to start with a little bit of history. Because Base launched just under 2 years ago. It was incubated at Coinbase, built on Ethereum, and a part of the superchain. And since then, it's grown into one of the fastest and cheapest and most accessible blockchains in the world. And it's not just infrastructure anymore. In just under 2 years, as the #1 L2, Base now has $12 billion of assets. It has transactions that take less than a second, that happen in less than a
На
second.
централизованном
There's $4 billion
сервисе,
of stable
пацаны.
coins, and there's thousands of on-chain products,
Рано
including
еще
vibrant
хвастаться.
capital markets with things like Aerodrome and
Но-
Morpho, best-in-class trading
Aerodrome,
tools with
Morpho.
things like Altcoinist and Definitive, so many creative memes with folks like TYBG and Higher, and all of this has led to billions of transactions, 3 billion transactions, all happening on a decentralized network that just achieved stage 1 decentralization, which was a huge, huge milestone. And I'm so proud of all of this progress that we've made. And at the same time, I see this as the first chapter of Base. The last 2 years of all of y'all's hard work, that's the first chapter. And today,
Говорит, что это все была первая глава, а сейчас они переходят во вторую главу развития
Brian
бейса.
said, our mission is to build a global economy that increases innovation, creativity, and freedom. And to make that real, I'm excited to introduce a new open stack of products and a new Base brand. And first I want to start with the brand so that we can get that and the niceness into the rest of the presentation. When we launched Base, the logo was a circle. It was simple, it was solid, it was a foundation, a starting point. But as the ecosystem grew and the community grew with it, we realized that the circle didn't capture everything.
Ой, новое лого, ничего себе. Интересно.
But Base isn't finished. We're all here, we're working. It's evolving, we're building, it's composing, it's open. And we realized that actually a square is the building block. It's a canvas, it's a pixel. It represents possibility, it represents builders. But we didn't really know how to bring the square to life. We had the idea, but what was the expression? And that's where we opened the door to all of you. Over the last 4 months, we built and launched brand.base.org, a space to create in the open. We invited artists, we invited designers, developers, DJs, anyone in the Base community to show us what inspired them. And everyone delivered. We got incredible artwork, incredible creativity, incredible visions of what this future could be. And every submission reminded us that Base isn't just a chain. It's canvas. It's a block. Yeah, there you go. It's a block to remix. It's a pixel to customize, a vessel to carry ideas, to carry your dreams alongside ours. And now, after many months of building this brand in the open, I want to show you how it's coming to life.
О, походу в стиле Apple будут такие ролики. Классно. Ну, вообще, в принципе, презентация очень качественно сделана, должен сказать. И Джесси очень хорошо смотрится в кадре и говорит так очень уверенно, продающе, круто. Судя по всему, будут какие-то разноцветные квадратики. Что-то в этом стиле. Мне, кстати, прошлое лого Base нравилось, этот кружочек с таким вырезом. Опа, это целая прям, походу, уже эпка показывается. Ну да, тут уже понятно, что супер эп какой-то.
This is a new day one for Base. It's a new day one for a brand, and it's something that all of us built together. And with this new brand, I want to reintroduce you to Base, an open stack for the on-chain economy that can empower builders, creators, and people everywhere to participate in this new global economy. And the first part is Base Chain. What you known as Base is now Base Chain. The Ethereum L2 we've been building in a core part of the superchain. Base Chain's North Star is fast, cheap, secure on-chain transactions at scale in a decentralized network that everyone can access. The chain powers the infrastructure that enables this ecosystem of on-chain apps. And I have some big news. As of today, as of about 2 hours ago, Base Chain is now 10 times faster.
Немножечко не понял, это Base Chain, ну это же...
With flash blocks, we brought the effective block times on Base from 2 seconds to just 200 milliseconds. And that means that apps on Base are nearly instant. Since the beginning, Brian has held us to this relentless North Star of 1 second, 1 cent. It has to be cheaper than 1 cent, and it has to be faster than 1 second. And today, we finally achieved that goal.
Нет, токена не будет, я практически уверен сейчас.
Base build.
Но
For the last 2 years, we've been building a suite of tools that help developers build, scale, and monetize their on-chain products. And we've been doing this and working with all the people in this room and all the people working, watching on the live stream, because we believe that y'all are the people who are going to build the on-chain products
сказали, что мы сделали Base Chain, чтобы отделиться от эфириума, и наконец-то мы становимся сами L1 независимым.
And you're going to hear a little bit more about how Base Build is doing that later today. And then finally, we're excited to unveil TBA. This is the next evolution of Coinbase Wallet, rebuilt over the last 9 months by an incredible team all the way from the ground up. And many of you have been wondering what TBA stands for. You can see some of the tweets and conversations.
Я думал, TBA to be announced. Ну вот, да.
No, I'm here to tell you that TBA stands for the Base app.
О, вау, это оказывается the Base app было сокращение, а не
And what
to be
is
announced.
the Base app? Well, it started with the problem that over the last 2 years, as we've been building Base, we've heard over and over and over again. More and more everyday people are trying to come on chain, but it's just too hard to use crypto products. And then on the other side, we're talking to builders and creators, and they're making these incredible experiences. They're bringing all of their creativity
Возможно,
on
еще
chain,
туда
but they
вбилдят
can't
кошелек,
actually reach the
как
people.
вот в Телеграме, что
They need
будет
distribution.
две
They need to get
версии,
in front of folks.
как бы кастодиальная
And so we
через
spent the
Coinbase
last
и
year
не
trying to
кастодиальная,
solve this.
возможно, да, так
And we
будет
built
классно
a
тоже.
social app.
Или
We
Smart
built
Wallet туда
a
внутрь.
chat app. We built a payments app. We built a trading app. And we
Да,
built a
да,
discovery
видите,
app.
иконки, которые внизу сейчас
But they're
будут
actually not 5
100%.
apps. It's just one app. It's an everything app that brings together
Everything
the
app.
best of social, discovery, chat, payments, and trading so that you can connect to the global economy that all of us are building together. And it's powered by the open protocols that you know and love. And so let's see this app in action.
Итак, все, поехали, смотрим. Истории, рилсы, походу, там будут даже. Ну да, конечно, еще рилсы запихать забыли. Я это еще вот не подумал, реально, без рилсов, куда же сегодня без рилсов? Это, ну, идиотизм было предположить, что там их не будет. Я вот не помню, в Твиттере есть рилсы или нет. Я, кстати, да, по-моему, да, есть. Я просто настолько не люблю шорт-контент, что я практически вообще его не смотрю, поэтому, да, вроде там есть что-то такое. Ну да, походу, тут конкурент Твиттера.
I'm so excited about what we've built, and I'm so excited for y'all to get to hear about it from some of our incredible product and engineering leads and some very special guests. And so with that, I want to welcome John Granada, Head of Product for the Base app, to the stage. Welcome, John!
Thank you, Jesse. We just heard from Jesse and Brian about why we're building Base, to expand economic freedom, creativity, and innovation. But if we want better economic outcomes for more people, we have to go further than updating
Head
the
of
financial
Product
system.
TBA, вот
We
это
have
он,
to build a
короче,
global economy,
по сути,
one that
менеджер
works
всю
for everyone.
разработку этого TBA.
Today, if you live in the wrong country, you might not be
Значит, в
able to
будущем,
accept a
если
payment.
они смогут
If you
раскачать
create
эту апку, он
content
будет
on the
достаточно
internet, you probably won't earn
известным
from it.
персонажем.
Well, we think that anyone with an internet connection should be able to participate in this same economy. At Coinbase, we already had a strong foundation for this with Coinbase Wallet. For years, it's been a
Да,
trusted way
теперь
to
буду
trade,
рилсы
send payments, and
записывать
explore
в Base
on-chain.
апке, короче.
But it's also been a single-player experience. And a global economy is inherently multiplayer. That's when we realized Coinbase Wallet could be a starting point for a new kind of social network. Today, Coinbase Wallet becomes Base, an everything app bringing together social, apps, chat, payments, and trading, so you can connect to a new global economy. We're early, it's still in beta, but I'm excited to show you what we've built so far. We designed Base around 4 core experiences: a social network, a
Судя
place to
по всему,
discover and
приложение
use
будет
apps,
называться тоже
a
Base.
secure and powerful encrypted chat,
Да, The Base App.
and of course, a world-class
либо
wallet
TBA.
with best-in-class trading and payment tools that millions use today. First, let's talk about the social network. So today's social networks are some of the biggest economies in the world, bigger than many countries. Social networks are practically our homes
Ну да,
online
видите,
for connecting with people,
это
having
фид
fun,
будет, лента,
learning,
как
and
в
sharing.
Твиттере, короче.
But we've
Ну
heard
да,
from creators
короче, вот
that
они
the
все
economics of
плюс-минус
today's social
мерджатся
network
вот
just
в такие
don't work for
суперэпы.
most
Вот
people.
Твиттер идет вот
Let me
как
ask
бы
you, how many
от
of you
соцсети
have
к payment
posted something
апу, они идут
online
от
recently, like
payment
a tweet,
апа
a
к
video, a
соцсети, world chain, вообще с другой стороны заходят,
And
но
how
у
many of you
всех вот
actually
это вот
earn
одно и
something
то
for
же
it?
направление, короче.
Not as many, right. Most of us don't. The average person needs tens of thousands of followers just to make their first dollar online. But we believe that everyone deserves to earn for their content, no matter how many followers they have. So with the Base app, you own your content. Your posts are assets.
Окей,
You can post
все
something
посты
and
будут
earn a
NFT по
little more than
дефолту,
you would
судя по
elsewhere.
всему.
And if it goes viral, you can earn a lot more.
И сразу
Now let's
какая-то
talk about
автоматическая
all of the
монетизация
apps that
будет,
you can
судя по
access on
всему,
Base.
за счет
So Base
просмотров,
makes it
что-то
easy to
такое.
find and use on-chain
Интересно.
apps. Thousands of apps are live today, including games, prediction markets, trading tools, AI agents, and more. And they're built by people from all over the world. Anyone can publish their apps, and they'll be discoverable in the feed, on the home tab, and inside chat. It's actually the first time that app discovery, usage, and distribution are so tightly built into the product
Вот,
itself.
экосистема мини-апов.
Next, there's secure chat, but this is not
Chat.
an ordinary messaging experience. It's an end-to-end encrypted chat where you can share apps, send and request payments, trade, and message AI agents in DMs and
И
group chats.
AI-engines сразу там
We
будут
think that
в
this
этом чате.
combination of messaging and money unlocks a ton of new use cases that you're going to see in just a few minutes. Finally, there's the
Могут
wallet.
ли в LD туда интегрировать
built
было
on
бы
top of
киллер
a
фича?
state-of-the-art
Спокойно
smart wallet
могут. То
called a
есть
base account
Coinbase
with secure
заинвестировал в
sign-in, no
LD,
gas fees,
поэтому
and simple account
вполне
funding.
себе.
It's a universal account that
Рано
you
или
can use
поздно.
inside the Base app, and you can also take it with you to other apps. We believe that Base should be for everyone and not be an island. The Base app initially supports the 8 EVM chains already supported in Coinbase Wallet today, with the goal to expand to additional networks, including Solana and many more soon. Hopefully you're as excited about this vision as we are. And the key to all of this is that it's built on open protocols. It's built on chain, and it's built in the open by a global community of builders.
Выглядит лучше, чем форкастер, но может быть форкастер под капотом работать, я не знаю еще, но вполне себе, потому что если ончейн, там все, форкастер это протокол, а не приложуха. Приложуха варпкаст называется, который вы пользуетесь обычно. А форкастер это именно social протокол, поэтому он вполне себе под капотом там может быть.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Thank you so much, John. My name's Aneri, and I'm a product lead at Base. And John just talked about how the Base app feels like your new home for everything on chain. And I'm really excited to show you what that actually looks like once you start using it in your everyday life. So for me, it starts the same way that a lot of things in my life start, a group chat. Because messaging is just the most familiar thing
Даже
on our
групп
phones.
чаты будут
We use
сразу,
it every
классно.
day to talk about our plans, send funny photos, check in on people, and just share what we love. So with On-Chain Summer coming up, I connected Coop and Jake in a chat. They're both here today, and they're both incredible builders that are both passionate about helping creators and artists earn on-chain. And what's really exciting is that these chats are way more powerful with Base. You're not just talking, but you can actually do things. So I wanted to support a few artists that Coop just onboarded here in LA, and maybe even earn a little bit for backing those musicians before they blew up. So I asked an agent named Banker to buy their coins all in one line. And as you can see, it's not really a group chat, it's kind of like a group chat with superpowers. And this is what makes the Base app different. It's multiplayer by default, which means that everything can happen alongside others, whether it's posting, trading, chatting, and co-creating. Especially, I mean,
А
I
я
love
не
the
знаю, платил ли
excitement.
форкастер
Keep
за
it
посты, я
coming.
на самом деле не сильно юзал его. Там что-то
Especially
так
for
зарегался.
creators, this
прикол.
unlocks so much. So earlier this year, I shared this photo. Earlier this week, actually, I shared this photo, and it's from 2 years ago. You'll see some familiar faces
Мне
like
кажется,
Jesse and
или они
Wilson.
крутят. Ну,
We were in the
а
woods of
сколько сейчас?
Idlewild, working
Напиши,
late the
напиши,
night
сколько
before
сейчас
we launched
просмотров.
Base. And that just felt like the perfect throwback
Могут
to
как бы
celebrate a new day
подкручивать,
one.
почему нет в целом,
So with just one
для хайпа.
tap, I made my post a collectible coin that anyone could buy and support. On most platforms, you can't really earn unless you have a massive following, or you land a brand deal, or you just happen to live in the right country where you're eligible for earnings. But on Base, you can make your post buyable. Because as all creators know, our content has value. So if someone buys your post, you earn. And if it goes viral, both you and your fans, everyone who participated in that and who bought into that, earn from that upside.
Вау,
And it
интересно.
didn't take long for
Можно
me to
будет
get this
купить пост
notification right here.
человека, грубо говоря, шер,
This is the
ну
moment
как
that
бы
we want
как
everyone to
долю в
experience. Not
посте,
just
если
likes
пост
and
становится
views, but real
виральным,
earning and
то
real
ты как бы
upside.
зарабатываешь своей
And the really cool
монетизацией.
thing is, I didn't just earn from people buying on the Base app. Most of the buys actually happen from other apps because this coin is available on open markets. So earning from your creativity isn't new, but doing it this easily and on your own terms feels different. And that's really just the start, because on the Base app, there's not just one way to earn, there's dozens. You can get weekly rewards for posting, you can earn when you curate content and influence others, and there's
В общем,
tons of
интересно,
mini-apps that
там
help you
целая
grow
будет
your deal,
экономика под
discover
капотом,
new
работать
coins early,
ончейн в
earn
этом
from
всем
predictions,
приложении, в
and
этой всей
even get
социальной
rewarded for
сети.
just showing up.
Будет много разных
Because earning on the Base app isn't just about
механизмов
what you create, but it's also
монетизации
about how you
контента
engage.
и вообще вот
So
этого
one of the
всего.
first people to
Интересно,
collect
как
my
бы,
post was Kara,
что-то
and
первый
she's
такой
actually right
эксперимент,
here in the
прямо
front row.
на такой скейл, поэтому это классно. Не факт, что у них
So
получится
Kara
сразу,
loved
да,
my
но
post, but she also loves
как
finding
бы
what's
классно
new.
видеть
And so as she scrolls her feed, she
первые
sees
пробы.
someone talking about a coin called Clinker. When Caro taps into that coin, she instantly gets the full picture. The price chart, who's buying and selling, and what her friends are doing. Basically all the context that she needs to make a confident investment right there in the moment. I love how trading on Base feels fast and social, and it's built for how we actually use the internet today.
Не, ну
Another thing I love
200к,
about Kara is
500к
that
в
she's
целом,
always bringing her
почему не? Ну,
community with her.
чуть-чуть, может, и
So she's from
крутят, но
Costa
какая
Rica,
разница?
and she still works with some creatives
Сейчас в
back
Америке,
home.
ну,
And
день,
recently she
типа,
onboarded a new
поэтому
designer, Eileen,
вполне себе
to
может
help her
быть.
with some of her creative projects. Now,
Это ж
normally
на весь
paying
мир
someone
как бы
internationally is a
презентажка.
total headache.
Весь
If
мир
you've done it,
знает
you know exactly
Coinbase
what I
и
mean.
пользуется
The slow
Бейсом.
wires, high fees, days of waiting, and
Со
inflated
всего мира, в
exchange
смысле,
rates.
люди.
But with the Base app, sending money across the world is free, instant, and just a few taps.
Да, кошелечек под капотом. Сразу пересылать по друзьям
No
можно в один
waiting, no
клик, судя по
guessing, no
всему.
hoops to jump through. It really, really does feel magical. So Eileen, she gets that money immediately, and she can do whatever she wants
Посты
to do with
высылать
that.
сразу
So that might
контактам,
be moving it to a
прикольно,
local currency,
купленные.
earning up
Покупаешь
to
виральный
4.1%
пост, потом
on
флексишь
USDC
этим, что
rewards,
ты купил
spending
виральный
it at a
пост,
Shopify
заработал на
store,
этом 10 тысяч
and soon
долларов.
using tap to pay with any merchant accepting
Tap to pay.
USDC.
Tap to pay, то есть, по сути, короче, Ну, tap to pay, да. В общем, платежка внутренняя с приложения. Везде, где принимается USDC, сказал так.
So you might have noticed that you can personalize the theme to whatever you want it to be. So you can see here at mint green, or maybe you just want to wrap the Lakers. But it goes way deeper than just colors. Because on the base app, you own your identity, your assets, your social connections, and you can take them wherever you want, even outside of the app. On most platforms, you're the product, but on Base, you are in control. And everything I showed you so far, those are just a few things that you can do with the Base app on its own, and it already feels pretty powerful. But what makes it even better is that anyone can build on top of it. And mini apps are just one example of that. And honestly, they're some of my favorite things about the Base app. And don't let the name fool you, there is nothing small about them. Mini apps feel like the next evolution of content. We started with text, then images, then video, and now we're seeing apps show up in the same way, except they're richer and more interactive and more expressive. So not something that you just scroll and watch, but something that you can actually engage in again and again. And because they live in a social network, they spread fast.
А Ера не пампится.
And you see them in your feed, you can share them in chats, and you can see what your friends are doing.
Ера, или это все зря?
Today, there's already hundreds of mini apps live, from games and creator tools to prediction markets, live streams, AI agents, all built by this incredible community.
Можно будет усреднять посты, пока не захапятся. Да, да, да. Блин, мой пост просел на 5%, усреднюсь.
Thank you, Neri. I am super excited to be here. Hi, I'm Charlie, CTO and co-founder at Remix. At Remix, we're making games instant, social, and creatable by anyone. Let's see it in action. This is me scrolling the new social feed inside the Base app, where I see my friend just shared a game of Climb or Die.
О, криптобред, здравствуйте, здравствуйте. Павел, приятно вас видеть на стриме.
No downloads, no login, with one tap, and I'm already playing. Okay, not my best run, but with a couple more taps, I can share my score back to the social feed for the next gamer to discover.
Да, да, в любом случае шансы как бы есть, а даже если как бы зафейлятся, да, изначально, то они уже, как сказать, первые будут с таким вот концептом, потому что в любом случае тому же Твиттеру далеко до ончейна какого-то еще, поэтому ончейн именно это первые такие эксперименты такого уровня.
Just describe what you want, and Remix helps bring it to life. You can now go from an idea to making money from your game on the Base app in hours or even minutes. This is a total paradigm shift in mobile gaming. Like Aniri said, which I'll remix a little bit, we've seen the internet consistently grow more engaging. First it was text, then image, then videos, now it's games. The next language of the internet will be playable with Remix on the Base app. Thank you.
It's really just incredible to see. I met Charlie 2 years ago here in LA, and it's amazing to see the progress for Remix in the last few years. And what I love about Remix is that it's just the perfect example of how fun and value can just live in the same place.
Тогда то, что 1.1 как форкастер, так это ну ничего странного. Скорее всего, все это работает на форкастере, именно этот социальный весь элемент, который в свою очередь работает на бейсе, насколько я помню, да, то есть это нормально, то есть бейс блокчейн, наверху работает форкастер протокол, скорее всего, да, то есть вряд ли это отдельный блокчейн, а может отдельный блокчейн, но мне кажется, что это какой-то типа как структура на блокчейне бейс, но я не ресерчил форкастер, поэтому могу ошибаться, и уже наверх этого вот структуры этой, да, форкастерской, там всякие модели, абстракции, там, пользователей, аккаунтов, там, постов, вся штука, то есть это как такой построенный фреймворк, да, на бейсе, и уже с этого фреймворка могут разные соцсети и приложения пользоваться, и вот, и Warpcast это был один из них, и вот, например, TBA, вот эта бейсовская апка, это следующее приложение, которое тоже с форкастера, с протокола использует его.
A breakthrough. UPI increased the velocity of digital money in India by 10,000 times, and we think microtransactions, USDC, and trillions of likes on the internet will do the same. Creators have that aha moment a minute after they hit post. Not because they use noise or know about noise, but it's because they just see that money pop into their wallets, and they start noticing. It becomes your new trusted on-chain network. You say tokenize everything, and we say, let's do it. Any asset, any chain will help you get to 1 billion new wallets. We started with tips, but there's a lot more. Think micro incentives, like what if you could reward users for performing specific on-chain actions, or just micro buys, where you just buy a ticker for $10 if you like it. We stand for economic freedom, whether it's our parents who are making cooking videos back at home or a 13-year-old hustler trying to make content. Eventually, we think getting a like will be ubiquitous to earning a coin. We know we're onto something big. Base is for everyone, and so is noise. And it's live today on the Base
Как бы у них самая главная киллер-фича, которая вот на данный момент у них есть, это необычные всякие он-чейн бизнес-модели, как мне кажется. То есть то, что с контентом, с вот этой всей штукой можно делать какие-то просто очень интересные, необычные вещи, и вот на этом они могут выигрывать у остальных.
And that idea of community supporting creators directly shows up in so many mini apps, like decentralized pictures. So let's welcome Roman and Leo, who are flipping the script on how films get made.
I'm Leo Matchett from Decentralized Pictures. And I'm Roman Coppola. Thanks for having us here.
Нету, бейса токена еще нету, и я говорю, я не думаю, что представят сейчас. Ну, типа, я бы не ждал бы этого.
Filmmaking is a collective effort and relies on a community of people coming together. Also, the filmmaking tradition relies on knowledge being passed down from those who have experience guiding the next generation. And finally, cinema is built on technology. It began as a photochemical.
Пишут в чате, так в дебанке примерно такой же функционал, так функционирует все, разве нет? Да, может быть и так же функционирует, но дебанк не принадлежит Coinbase, а Coinbase хочет сделать свою экосистему, свой супер-эп, да, и они могут этого сделать, потому что в крипте не важна, даже не сколько важна технология, команда и все такое, а сколько то, как ты можешь задистрибьютить продукт к пользователю. И никто не может так хорошо сегодня в крипте дистрибьютить продукты к пользователям, как вот такие компании, как Robinhood, как Coinbase, у которых есть огромная база пользователей. Вот, потому что, скорее всего, первыми пользователями и вообще те, кто будут развивать эту культуру, будем, ну, такие люди, как мы, да, то есть обычный нормис, он не придет в Coinbase App, не пересядет, например, там, с Twitter или еще с чего-нибудь, да, сразу же. Скорее всего, вот это вот просто прослойка, этот рынок вот таких людей, как мы, он будет просто со временем увеличиваться, которые будут переходить on-chain, да, то есть on-chain станет нормой, и будут расти эти вот приложения.
Where we're bringing that experience to everyone right inside the Base app. Every trailer becomes a tokenized, remixable asset, generating a dynamic loop of creativity.
Типа вряд ли здесь будет сидеть там 45-летняя мамочка какая-нибудь с двумя детьми, ну, типа, вы представляете, чтобы она скачала вот это тебе? Нет, скорее всего, это будут, типа, сначала ончейн гены и так далее, и вот потихоньку вот у нас вместе с нашим поколением, возможно, если не соскамится, да, если, ну, не то, что соскамится, а просто, ну, не получит, в общем, должного внимания. Хотя они ставят это как на свой кошелек, типа, поэтому... И тем более, судя по всему, Coinbase Wallet теперь не будет, а вот это будет как бы и Wallet. И, грубо говоря, они говорят, если хочешь self-custody, Wallet, да, качай TBA, а там уже одновременно у тебя будет все остальное. Типа вот чувак скачал там TBA, ну, приложенька, там свои USDC туда закинул, чтобы платить, а потом бац, такой друг просит выслать, да, он высылает другу сразу он-чейн свои USDC-шки или там, или любую другую штуку, потом бац, решил ему что-то написать, да, какое-то сообщение, воспользовался мессенджером, и вот так вот, короче, закрутится, и может быть, ну, что-то и получится.
So, if you're a builder, we're launching something new just for you. It has everything you need to start building mini apps, understand your users with real-time analytics, get distribution in the Base app, and earn rewards for what you create. All of that and more is coming soon, and you can join the waitlist today at base.dev. So I just walked you through how I've been using the Base app personally on a daily basis and the types of magical experiences that can happen when value, creativity, identity, and connection all flow through the same social network. And I can't wait to see what you create with it. With that, I'll hand it back to John. Go crush it.
Thank you again to all three of our mini app presenters. Now, everybody here in the audience has the new Base app beta in their pockets today. And starting today, we're opening it up to many more users on our waitlist. We'll continue to add more users in the coming weeks, and you can join the waitlist now at base.app.
Ну вот, кто фармит дропчик, я думаю, точно нужно записаться в waitlist и так далее. Так, я заджойню waitlist, чтобы был. Ой-ой-ой, там наплыв пошел, сразу же видно. Сразу же ошибка у него бывает.
And I am so proud of what we've built with the Base app. We've talked about the Base app. It's built on open protocols. But what does that actually mean? If you look back, the early internet gave us open building blocks. Anyone could grab the pieces and snap together a website. The whole world could drop by and say, hi. That's what made it magical. Open platforms and open access.
Вот тут
Well,
вот,
let me ask
короче.
you, are the apps you really use that
Скинул
open?
ссылочку в чат,
Look at your home screen today.
если
It's a grid of
получится
icons,
записаться.
an app for payments,
Но я думаю,
one or
там
two
сейчас
for
будет
messaging, one for
нереально
games, maybe
наплыв
another for sports
пользователей.
betting. But every icon is its own private world, a closed ecosystem. You create a new account, you agree to new rules, pay a fee at the gate. None of them even talk to each other. Your identity is trapped inside their systems. Your data belongs to them. You can't build on them. You can't remix them. You can't take your data with you. We have a lot of builders here today in the audience. And those that are watching on the live stream, thank you. We know the experience. We know the pain that you've had with these closed platforms. We've experienced it too. Creators, you've had your username taken from you. Your account locked.
Интересно, да, что теперь
Builders, your
получается...
API access cut off.
Теперь
Your app
API
runs
не
from the
нужно
store.
будет к соцсети, так
You can't
как,
even build an AI agent
по
on top of
сути,
the biggest apps in the world.
on-chain API нужен
The
будет,
days
а
of the
там уже
closed
как бы
internet
можно
are
любые
over.
данные
And
собирать,
this is why we
любую
built the Base
статистику,
app
любую
on a
бигдату
stack
по
of 6
пользователям,
open
по их
layers,
лайкам,
all speaking the
постам,
same language.
подпискам и так далее.
In one single place, you can move money anywhere across the world in seconds, since Base rides on Ethereum and the superchain, and it makes it all happen. You can bring your identity wherever you go, because base names on ENS allows you to use the same name across the whole internet. You can own your social graph with Farcaster and every post with Zora. Now your social graph and content belong to you, not
Вот,
them.
social graph belongs
Use
to you.
markets 24/7 on Aerodrome, Uniswap, and hundreds of other dexes. You don't want to miss that 2 a.m. runner. I don't. Chat with your friends and agents using secure messaging by XMTP, but it's different. Why? The chats are yours because the keys belong to you. And lastly, that new app you
Интересно,
just
чаты
vibe-coded,
будут
it just
полностью
works everywhere
шифрованные,
the moment you
через
deploy it.
как-то
Why?
через чейн
Because of
передаваться,
Open Graph and
или
HTML.
же
Distribution shouldn't
тоже
have to
через
wait for
централизованный
someone to hit
сервер.
approve.
Это было бы очень круто, если бы был бы peer-to-peer шифрование, пересылка через ноды в блокчейне и условно что. И получается, никто не может получить доступ, только если ты по ключу своему как бы... У тебя не к мобиле привязка, а к ключу своему приватному. Но вряд ли они это сделают, я думаю.
You start from an infinite toolbox made by millions of builders like you. Every builder in the world becomes an extension of your product and team. It's magical. And I want to show you what this magic looks like. I'm scrolling my feed, and I see a post from my friend Kevin supporting the Dodgers. And I just need to call him out in our group chat. I'm from the Bay Area, I have my loyalties, so I decided to make a friendly little bet with him and all my buddies.
Я не думаю, что нужно ломаться в этот waitlist, отлагать через завтра, через час. Не думаю, что что многое потеряете. Вряд ли это будет, знаете, каким-то там прям для дропа чем-то важным. Я имею в виду именно нахождение в waitlist.
And boom, instantly, I get USDC in my wallet, which I now can use.
Жестко. То есть они в чат, в поездку поехали, ну, показывают, как происходит, и получается AI-ассистент из чата группового, они написали, кто что потратил, он сразу же разбил все косты и автоматически, короче, разослал с кошельков USDC, так как нужно было по друзьям. Это next gen. Прикиньте, да, там едете с ребятами своими там куда-нибудь там, в поездку, куда-то в путешествие, и просто вписываете в чат, там, что на что вы потратили, и на кого разбить, и оно автоматически сразу высылает, и сеттелит, оно само просчитывает, кому кто что должен, получается.
The ability to use on-chain agents and apps with programmable money leads to these infinite consumer experiences. You can even switch apps tomorrow. Take every coin with you, every DM, every group chat. Heck, take your whole social graph and all your content with you. It's the first time your digital life is as portable and as private as your money. And that's the internet working the way it should. And it's live today in beta with the Base app. We're building something better. And this is a new day one for a more open internet. And I'm incredibly proud to launch the Base app. And next up, we'll cover more about how these open features like Base Account work across the whole globe. I want to hand it over to Wilson, product lead for Base Account.
Man, how sick is that demo, right? Like, this is not just Figmas, this is real. This is in your pocket. At the core of the Base app is an open and composable account that you can bring with you across the web. We call it Base Account. And it's a universal sign-on for the open internet. Base Account is the evolution of our smart wallet. It's fast, simple, and secure, and no centralized platform can take it away from you. When you create a Base Account, you're not just setting up a wallet, you're unlocking a portable and sovereign identity that works across the internet. Anywhere you see sign in with Base, just click Face ID, and you're in. Developers can use our new Base Account SDK today and add sign-in with Base to their websites and connect with over 100,000 existing users. Now, of course, a huge part of crypto is payments. So I want to talk about how you're going to use this account to pay across the web. Today, I'm very, very excited to introduce Base Pay, the fastest way to check out with
Base
USDC.
Pay. Окей. Вот и платежка, да? И Base Account, прикольная тема. Не, ну интересно, интересно. Я попользовался бы.
Right? I mean, come on. That's pretty sick. BasePay delivers USDC checkout across the web. It's one click, no wallet connection or chain switching required. Users can save their name, email, and shipping address into their Base account for easy and secure sharing. Developers can integrate BasePay today with just a few lines of code. And as Aniri mentioned earlier, at the end of the year, we're going to be bringing BasePay to physical retail as well with tap-to-pay support. Now, the BasePay product experience was developed with a very special partner. Some of you might have heard last month, we announced USDC on Base came to Shopify checkout. But that announcement was just the start of the story. From the beginning of our collaboration with Shopify, we've been working with them to develop BasePay as a truly best-in-class payment experience. And who better to work with than the global leaders in commerce? To talk more about this, I'm welcoming up Alex Danko from Shopify. Please welcome Alex. Thanks for being here, Alex.
It's just such a pleasure to be here. Years in the making.
So let's step back to start. Why is Shopify doing any of this?
So many of you know Shopify as the e-commerce company. So when you shop from your favorite brands, we help power those storefronts and checkouts and fulfillment flows and everything. And we do a lot of work behind the scenes to make payments.
Да, Shopify тоже легенды, конечно, в своей индустрии. Перевернули игру.
Real identity is being the entrepreneurship company. Like, that's actually what we care about. Our customers are builders. They're people who are reaching for independence and building their businesses that they own. And so another part of why we're here today is that there's such a kinship between Shopify and Base. We are both building for builders. We are both building for people who want to own what they've built. And so it feels so at home to be here with all of you on Base Day 1. And, you know, that's why we're going to be here for the long run.
That's a great starting point. I love that highlighting of our shared vision. I think Shopify has this line, anybody can be an entrepreneur, and Base has the line, anybody can be a builder. My next question, and maybe the audience question as well, is, you know, why now for crypto on Shopify? What changed to make this possible or to make you guys want to do it?
So we've always wanted to make crypto payments work well. This goal goes back years and years for us. And over the past couple months, it became clear that the pieces were
Вообще
actually falling
интересно,
into place to make
много
this all
что
possible.
корректируется,
There needed to be
а эфир как
trusted
камень
stablecoins
стоит
that
на
everybody
месте
had.
просто.
There needed to be a fast, cheap chain
Красиво,
like Base. We
конечно,
needed all
эфир
these things.
прет безумно.
But then there was also a
Solana,
bunch
надеюсь,
of work we
подскочит,
had
но
to do to make it
думаю,
actually
да,
work
я думаю,
out.
это следующий
Right?
шаг.
Merchants have
То
complex
есть
needs when they're
BTC,
selling in the real
Sol,
world. We had to
после
put our
всего
heads together
остальное.
and solve problems like auth and capture.
Хайп
How
тоже
those
снег
payments
стоит,
works.
пам стоит,
Building something called the
Суй
commerce
откатывается, а
payments
эфир
protocol
просто
together. We
прет
put a lot
люто.
of work into taking this complicated world and turning it into a simple product that just works.
Кайф.
It's many layers deep, but it's a really simple experience for merchants and buyers. So that's something to
А
celebrate.
Ера откатилась, кстати,
Yeah, so
очень интересно.
the
То есть
pieces were there, we kind of had to put
даже
them
уже
together.
сегодня
I think
уже
we have
почти
this,
по доллару
amazing
торговалось.
message
Там не
from
пробило
Toby,
доллар,
the CEO of
99
Shopify,
было
to Jesse, of like,
центов,
hey, let's bring all
практически
the
доллар.
capture on
И
chain. Our teams
сейчас
got
откатилось
together in
92,
December,
так
again in
очень
March. We
достаточно
had
резко
like a
свечой.
billion video calls in between then, and
Возможно,
basically we just had to teach each other everything
ожидали
that we needed to know
ожидали
to bring
люди,
this
что
to
в
life.
этом
And
приложении
it
будет
all culminated in this
он-чейн трейдинг,
amazing
возможно,
moment at
через
June. We had
DEX,
our
Ера, но
CEOs,
мне
Brian
кажется, он
and
там
Toby, on stage together in State
есть,
Crypto,
если не ошибаюсь.
announcing that USDC on Base had come to Shopify checkout. Extremely exciting moment, but there was one thing missing from that announcement.
I know. We were missing an amazing buyer wallet and a one-click payment experience. Right, it was a pretty good start for buyers to be able to use any wallet that they had at any store. That's great. But we didn't want to just make a good crypto payment experience.
Прям человек смотрит, да, реально, 987 тысяч.
So Base Pay was that last missing piece that we honestly needed to bring crypto payments to all of the stores.
Ну да, это уже как-то слишком
Super
много,
excited.
как
Base
будто
Pay
бы
is now
миллион.
the fastest and easiest way
Но
to
они,
pay
скорее
with
всего, вот
USDC
эту
online.
сейчас цифру,
Where are we in
да,
terms of
998, сейчас пробьет 1
So,
миллион,
as of now, this is
чтобы
on
потом в
this week
соцсетях
for
красиво
tens of
показывать,
thousands
что
of
типа
merchants,
миллион
and
человек
over the course of
смотрел
this year, we're gonna roll
как
this out to
рекламу
every
целую.
merchant using Shopify payments, which is great. Brands like Erewhon are already supporting Shopify.
Я не понимаю, зачем они это, конечно, вот в презентацию включают. Мне кажется, наоборот, такого формата презентации они должны быть скорее насыщенные, интересные какими-то фишками. Ну, типа вот тут что показывать, как он кнопку нажмет и с помощью USDC типа заплатит, ну, камон. Это только убивает user retention, да, как сказать, внимание, короче.
By default, merchants are still getting paid out in their local currency.
Всем и так понятно, что стейблы это в разы удобнее и проще для всех.
But if they would rather, they can keep the USDC if they want to. And I bet that over the long run, Base will be the reason why merchants actually want to have some USDC on hand. So stay tuned for that.
I've learned over the course of the project that I spend a lot of time buying from Shopify merchants, so I'm very excited to be able to pay USDC on all of them. Anything near term that we can give people to look forward to?
Yeah, so coming later this year, we are going to be offering 1% cash back in the US for anybody who pays with USDC on Base. Second, and this is, I think, the thing you've all been waiting for anybody who loves to shop, Base Pay is fully integrated as a payment option in Shopify checkout. Woo!
Alex, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being a fantastic collaborator. It's been phenomenal working with you guys. Excited for everything to come.
Oh, it's just been amazing. It's day one, baby.
Day one, still day one. Thank you guys so much. To close this out, I'm going to welcome back up your friend and mine, Jesse.
Лучше бы взяли приложуху прямо, знаете, вот в реальном времени поюзали бы, показывали там какие вкладки, что можно делать и так далее. Они вот эти все приколы.
The new Base app with a ton of features, the importance of open protocols, and how you're going to be able to take everything that you care about across the internet, and then the introduction of the Base account and Base Pay. And one of the things that I'm most excited about with this vision, this future that we're building, is how on-chain social and the Base app and Zora and Farcaster and XMTP have the potential to reshape the creator economy. At its core, I believe that on-chain social can flip the script, and it can put ownership and control actually back in the hands of the creators, the people who have spent the last 2 decades making the internet what it is. And so to dive into this, I want to invite 3 incredible speakers to the stage. Please join me in welcoming Cleo Abram, the creator behind Huge If True, Gary Vee, one of the most OG social creators, and people pleaser, an Emmy-nominated on-chain artist building on Base. Welcome, y'all!
Ого. Блогеров каких-то позвали.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
This the greatest joy and the
О май гад, это кто-то из Зоры, что ли, какие-то креаторы?
I want to start by just quickly, like, tell me each, who are you, starting with Cleo.
Hi, I'm Cleo Abram. I'm a video journalist, and I make a show called Huge If True, which is a show about science and technology, and it's very optimistic. So we dive into, sorry about my mic a little bit.
There you go.
So we dive into everything from how we're using technology to improve what we know about dinosaurs to how we might use CRISPR to gene edit and help people with genetic diseases. And I left a media company to start this show.
Ну, тоже как-то скучновато, на самом деле. Могли бы что-то, говорю, поярче, поинтереснее как-то. Какого-нибудь, знаете, прям какую-то коллабу замутить с каким-нибудь, там, не знаю, мистером Бистом или что-то такое, чтобы залетел на шоу. Охваты поднял. Или тиктокеров каких-то, знаете, прям ультраизвестных пригласить. Или iShow Speed этого такого, типа темнокожего. Думаю, многие знают здесь. Вот что?
I am an OG social influencer.
Hey, that's what the dude said.
It's really exciting to be here. I'm an entrepreneur, do lots of things, and I really am a little bit OG. I launched an e-commerce website in 1996 when a lot of people here were just children, and this really has been an exciting event. I think that point about the internet being open is incredibly lost on so many of us in this room, because that really was 1995, 6, 7, 8. We went to different websites, we went to different forums.
Акции по Coinbase, давайте посмотрим.
This has been an inevitable thing to happen. The on-chain social network.
На премаркете, в принципе, на постмаркете откат на $3, то есть 396, ну, короче, никак это не повлияло. 0,37% откат. Ну да, как бы откат по всему идет, сейчас такой минимальный, поэтому...
You're around in the last kind of chapter of social becoming a thing, and creators starting to have power in this new internet that got built in the early 2000s, and the internet that we know and many of us love today. Like, tell me, what did it feel like back then, and how does it feel and compare today?
I was in a really funny spot. I built this e-commerce site. Everything for me was always about, and now it's becoming obvious, I think, for a lot of people, everything for me was, where's the attention? I always thought as a marketer, I wanted to sell wine for my dad's store, and whether that was direct mail or buying full-page ads in a newspaper or in the Wine Spectator magazine, and then the internet came along, and I was like, this website thing matters. The reality is, I really built my dad's business on email marketing and Google AdWords. That's where the underpriced attention was at the time. When I saw Friendster and MySpace, I'm like, oh, this is different. Yeah. And then I was finally smart in my early 30s. I'm like, I'm done being right, I'm gonna invest in things. And so the first 3 companies I invested in my life were Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr.
Гэри Ви пипец как известен, пишет в чате. Просто я не знаю, кто это, напиши, если знаешь, кто это. Я понятия не имею. Ну, вполне может быть.
My thesis, when I wrote Crush It in 2008, my thesis was people would get famous from the internet and make money from the internet in a way that people didn't understand. And if you go to Amazon right now and look at the first...
Да, вначале они бодренько начали, кстати, но вот тут вот подслились. У этого нету энергии, я даже думаю, что люди в зале уже такие, да, бля, быстрее закончите это уже.
And I think today, every 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old only lives in a world where they think that they can have a personal brand, a creator, an influencer, whatever you want to call it, and lead to something. I think the point that you're all making here, which is why I was infatuated with the blockchain,
новое лого впечатлило.
Decentralized servers matter in a way that I think a lot of people forget. And so I think for some of the people that are a little more nerdy about this or historical about this.
Ну, по криптовому ничего интересного такого на самом деле. Ну, то есть апка классно, да, будем смотреть, будем пробовать, еще непонятно когда, что, где. Не, ну очевидно, как бы прикольно, что это все в одном месте теперь объединено. Вот. На рынок вряд ли это как-то прям очень повлияет. Я имею в виду в краткосрочной перспективе, я имею в виду спекулятивно, так вот, если смотреть. То есть я даже думаю, что вряд ли кто-то сильно в СМИ писать про это будет, если только Coinbase это, конечно, не проплатит. Так что везде просто все про это слышали. Что, в принципе, вполне может быть, да.
It's all of you who are watching this. It's the literally hundreds of thousands, millions of people. I just checked the stream, and there were 1 million people on the stream right now. It's crazy. And those are the people who are going to make this new internet work and who are going to make this decentralization a reality. And then the second,
real quick, I apologize. This is just a little nerdy nuance. In a different way than the open APIs that Facebook and Twitter had in 2006. The fact that everything is open that you've built on, like it's when they said it, there was truth-ish. Everybody was going to build economic value for the platform because you're sitting as such a
да, вот сейчас он интересные вещи говорит.
crypto thing and you benefit in different ways. You don't have to have that partnership where you get the most of it. It is actually for the end creator because of what a decentralized server is.
100%. It's foundationally decentralized at its core. And then the second thought that I'll say is, you know, that review of like you writing someone's going to make $100,000 and people being like, no way. It definitely resonates and feels similar to where we are today. You know, I think people sometimes look at this idea of any creator can post and any creator can earn, and they're like, no way, like that's impossible. And then I was just talking to a creator, and they started posting on the base app, and they'd earn tens of thousands of dollars for just posting. And that is like a new reality that I think for many people is unbelievable.
Because most people aren't paying attention to what's happening with IRL streaming. If you look at IRL streaming for the Twitch Kick community here, a lot of you know, like people are now in the concept of tipping.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why is someone going to give 17 cents per like or every time they like? Because it's a subconscious human trait to tip when you like something. Like a lot of us want to incentivize the creators. It's why we buy their CPG brands. It's why we comment when we know they do a brand deal. But that's a lot of friction. And a lot of closed. This is the most open nature of it.
100%. Cleo, I want to turn it to you. You mentioned in your kind of intro that you were previously a journalist. You work at a big journalist company that I think all of us know. And then you decided to go out on your own. Like, what motivated that? Why go out on your own?
Yeah, the primary thing that caused me to go independent, as they say, is one of the two things that I think are interesting about this whole conversation. The thing that I was primarily concerned with was I really wanted to make this specific show.
Интересно, у этого есть шанс вообще стать популярным не в Штатах? Мне пока тяжело это представить, но maybe. Потому что как бы Coinbase это чисто такая штатовская движуха.
Detail-oriented, journalistically rigorous storytelling. So I had to go make it. That was the sort of itch that I needed to scratch.
Американки не симпатичные? Иисус, ты точно про американок? Я думаю, это очень громкое заявление.
How do you not only support yourself and a team as you grow, but also build something really special that can then increase that creative ambition that you own? So those are the two big concerns.
Да, Рената не изменит.
And then the second one was the sort of harsh reality that you faced immediately upon becoming a creator.
За это мы его и любим.
I think those are the two big categories that any creator, big or small, will bring up if you ask them, what are you thinking about most? It's what can I make? How can I make the thing that's in my head real? And will I get to control it? And will I get to grow? And how can I support this? Can I support my team? Can I make money off this? Can I support my own time? Those two categories of the things people think about.
Yeah, and folks may not know this, but Cleo and I have actually known each other for a long time. We grew up across the street from each other.
You could point a laser through my childhood bedroom window.
Into my bedroom. Literally. We went to school from the time we were 5 together. And I remember when you were leaving and you were going out and starting your own thing. And I remember you saying, I don't know whether I can do it. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to make money.
Картинка отвратная, ты имеешь в виду, плохо передает у меня стрим, да, или что? Может, интернет как-то, я не знаю, подлагивает. У меня здесь написано, что... Нет, вроде все окей.
When you reflect back, like you did well. Like as an independent, you were able to go out and kind of pave your own way. I think this is the creator economy that we want to create more of. We want to figure out how is it so that everyone can go be an independent, but they can still have that same opportunity to earn. And people pleaser, you've been in this, right? Like you've been one of the, I think, most forward-thinking.
Видите, криптоны не умеют делать прям такой прям жесткой крутой презентации.
Why did you choose to create on-chain, and then what has on-chain done for you?
Well, I was previously an animator, and I think as a digital artist, there weren't really many ways that you could actually like sell.
Уже 1 300 000 на Твиттере, в Твиттере в смысле просмотров в лайве.
Do more stuff on-chain, and also from like the permanence and also like creative freedom that it brings to you. It can help bypass like middlemen, and you know it's built into an infrastructure that can't just be quietly overwritten by like a studio or a system. And so that was, you know, I think it's more of like a philosophical choice. And yeah, so you know I've had quite a journey now, just like creating stuff and having a lot of like supporters on chain, which has helped monetize my work, and then being able to create a White Rabbit without having to go through the traditional Hollywood system, because it would have never gotten made otherwise. And
сегодня, кстати, дико полетели компании, которые на Soul Strategy работают тоже. 23, 40, 10%, все три, еще больше, чем эфировские, взлетели, хотя Solana практически не двинулась. Есть вероятность, что, может, отыгрывают будущий мув, короче, солановский, потому что, мне кажется, так или иначе она все равно прыгнет хотя бы там к 200 должна, мне кажется.
Like ENSs and Ethereum wallet addresses, and I think this might be a first for crypto, and I hope to see many more. And so I hope that's like a good enough reason to be creating on-chain.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. And let me just repeat it back for folks who are watching it in the audience. You were an artist, an incredibly talented animator in a field that had no funding sources, where you couldn't do your work. And you came on-chain, and over the last few years, you were able to crowdfund and then collectively produce, including input from hundreds of people, a beautiful animation that is now winning Emmys. And then all of those people are getting, or I think it's going to win. I've watched it, it's good. And now the loop is being closed, and those people are being recognized and rewarded, and the system is actually starting to work. I mean, it's incredible.
Thank you.
And Cleo, I wanted, you know, that's this kind of like optimistic reality that some folks are experiencing in this new world, but you're someone who, you know, has very much spent time.
Да, кстати, вот какие лям 300, столько людей не знают, что такое крипта. Да, я согласен, лям 300 это как будто too much, как бы. Тем более я понимаю, что был бы лям 300, если бы прям, знаете, вот до сих пор была бы какая-то нереальная движуха на презентации. Как бы очевидно, что многие бы отключились уже. Я уже просто хочу досмотреть уже из принципа, поэтому чтобы галочку себе поставить внутри. А большинство, я не знаю, типа, ну, вряд ли бы смотрел. А тем более, когда этот каунтер растет, то есть он еще недавно был лям 200, сейчас уже лям 300. Странно.
The things that are going really, really well, the waves that are already building that I think this relates to,
скорее всего, к концу будет 7 миллиардов смотреть на этом языке.
There is an opportunity to build television quality work in a way that is just so much more open and owned by.
Я думаю, это накрутка, чтобы хайпа наделать.
I sort of think of them as the weird flowers in the forest. Like there's so many different kinds of things that you can make now. That's an incredible wave. That's been building for a long time. It is only becoming more and more true, and that means that people that might not otherwise have gotten excited about this path because frankly it was too risky can now see a future for themselves in it, and that is so
incredibly exciting. And on the other hand, I think
Тут мнение такое из чата, да просто им надо техническую херню всякую рассказать, и это интересно сделать Unreal, ну невозможно, а какого-то революционного user experience у них нету. Нет, смотри, я думаю, что наоборот как раз-таки не нужно рассказывать, что там что-то есть как бы прям такое on-chain, а скорее нужно какой-то хайп сделать, типа какую-то нереально крутую коллабу с каким-то интересным блогером и так далее. То есть нужно пойти немножко по веб-2-шному, наверное, чтобы такой продукт больше распиарить, мне кажется. И потому что, ну, а какие там, ну, механики, то есть для начала, ну, прям, знаешь, революционные. Да, там новые какие-то бизнес-модели, которые это все позволяют делать, из-за того, что он-чейн. Но как бы знать это сейчас юзеру прямо на моменте презентации не особо как бы нужно. Им скорее нужно хайп какой-то такой, вот знаешь, вау, интересно, круто, классно, давайте юзать. А не так, что там, чтобы я понимал, что мой пост это NFT. Да какая разница, NFT-то и это не NFT.
A story. I promise I'm going to use this mic. I apologize. I always try to come into a tech topic that I'm working on with curiosity and optimism. What is the future that this is trying to build? And it is really beautiful as your friend to see you see that vision so clearly and to see it beautifully articulated today. From my perspective, I think the question of how do creators maintain control in a changing ecosystem is really, really important. I mean, I will just be, you know, I think everything for a creator comes from, can I make what I feel called to make? We all have a passion that got us into this. Can I keep doing that? And so for me, finding new ways to keep doing that, coming into an ecosystem that is already, you know, so full and understanding what is the future for it. That's where my curiosity started. And having you as my guide, both on FaceTime and also just over the years, has been a real joy. I mean, Jesse was there to support my dream when I was thinking about what huge could be, and so to see this is really...
Да, они поменяли уже аватарку в Твиттере.
As we're getting towards the end, Gary, you've been someone who has, I think, been a mentor and an onboarder for so many creators over the last 2 decades. Like, I think so many people around the world look up to you as someone who, you know, maybe that was the first book they read or the first video they saw. There's so many creators who are watching this right now, who are in countries all around the world, Nigeria, Argentina, Kenya, you know, Philippines. What's your advice for new creators, people who are trying to find their voice for the first time and are thinking about how do they get started building this sort of platform to themselves?
You know, the first thing I think is how obnoxiously lucky they are. You know, when I was going at this, when I started a full-time YouTube show in February of 2006, there was like, if you got 1,000 views, you were like fucking unstoppable. You were like the greatest of all time. We were at
Нашел твит вот такой, пока.
Not only that, I spent 15 tireless years to amass an audience.
Продолжайте мечтать, биткоин никогда не достигнет 100 000.
Every time I post. The first 15 years of social was the social era. We are now fully in the interest era. The fact that between what y'all are building right this second and is about to come, capturing full economics for yourself, and on the other side, there's literally a little kid in Nigeria right now watching who his second post around his love affair of corn can actually get 1 million views. And obviously I have no
Ну как это громко названо было New Day One, типа как.
Algorithm will be, whether it's based on your following count, whether it's based on algo, but literally the fact that following count, this is a macro creator statement, that following count has been decentralized. That individual pieces of creative find the audience is a profound level of merit. When I was on these kind of stages in 2012, 14, 17, saying you can do this, I also said it's going to take you 2 years to like everyday grinding to like get to some base of audience. Today, it's a single post on your third day that has the chance based on merit to get you started in a profound way. It's always going to take hard work. It's always going to, a creator is always going to have to provide value, whether that's humor or beauty or strategy or intellect, whatever it is, there is a value exchange. But let there be no confusion. In the history of the last 20 years of this, between the combination of what you all are building and the combination of an interest-based, AI-driven, interest graph social network ecosystem,
Ну, Apple, они такие же долгие, только у Apple из-за того, что много продуктов и так далее, картинка постоянно меняется, локации, крутые анимации, поэтому там user retention в разы круче. Вот, тут, конечно... Я думаю, в целом можно было бы уже, наверное, эту презентацию им или нам заканчивать, но уже даже просто непонятно, уже 1,5 миллиона зрителей. Уже просто непонятно, сколько это осталось, если так продолжаться еще минут 20, то нужно будет реально заканчивать. Стоп-лосс какой-то, стоп-лосс тайм использовать.
And I think this is the thing. When we have these open graphs, these open networks, and then when we have earning built directly into the protocols, so that every post is owned, so that every moment...
Просто у них как будто эта презентация, они думают, что здесь будут смотреть люди, в основном, которые не из крипты, и для них такие, вау, типа это на блокчейне, вау, это типа там вбилженный в протокол социальный граф, типа вау, это кошелек, а как бы все крипты смотрят так, это уже в принципе все знают, что такое форкастер, все знают, что такое там дексы, цексы, и то, что это все в одну апку теперь объединили, как бы в принципе все понятно, да, и еще раз прогонять это.
Is now starting to get close to music, sports, fashion as a pillar of our society. Labubu, cards, Pokemon, all that. But that fact, when you say that, for people that grew up in 21, 22 hysteria and froth, this is not about buying, though I'm sure that will be an option. When you understand the subconscious tip culture that is happening in IRL streaming, and you layer that here, and you understand the frictionless layer that you're creating, the economics are profound. They're profound. Yep. I'm fucking excited.
Тип в чате с ником D ставит чисто стикеры, интересно.
The culture has evolved to like celebrate and lift up individual creators. The technology has evolved to enable this global connectivity and this global economy. And then the products have evolved, where now it's all starting to get integrated into these incredible user experiences that anyone, anywhere in the world can use. And as we're wrapping up, Emily, I want to just get a little bit of a perspective from you. You have been a creator for the longest time, but recently you've been a builder too. You're starting a business, you're bringing other people. Like, why shift from creator to builder? How are you thinking about that?
I enjoy misery. But well, the real
Жалко вперед промотать нельзя. Или ускорить, знаете, презентацию.
Really just have an innate drive to create and to really make stuff that's authentic to yourself. And a lot of the existing systems or studios that are around today, sort of like the institutions, don't really facilitate that. And so, and even creating Shibuya, it was an attempt to see if we could replicate the White Rabbit model and help other creators or filmmakers be able to realize or make stuff on their own terms too, and without having to go through the hell that is Hollywood as we know it today. And I love building on Base because you guys just like allow me to experiment, and Base is so creator forward. Like it's much less about speculation and more about trying things. And I've built with Base. You guys have let me fail as well, and just building in public I think is a very interesting way for other people to learn from your mistakes as well. And you guys take really good care of creators, and that's really important to me. So.
Well, I just want to say that I love the perspective of you had this experience of getting to create for yourself in this new way, and then you wanted to bring it to other people and share that and enable other people to build or create their dreams. Because at the end of the day, this is bigger than any one of us. It's bigger than me.
Про что была интеграция с Shopify, но они принимают теперь USDC. Во всех своих этих шопах, которые построены на Shopify, по дефолту можно будет USDC принимать. Ну а Shopify, у них же огромное количество сетей этих шопов, которые люди могут строить. Наконец-то, может это еще будет.
What a panel and what an event.
Какая захватывающая панель, действительно.
I want to just leave this room and everyone watching on the stream with a few thoughts. And the first is that today marks a new chapter for Base. It's a new day one.
Сейчас такие в конце, да, мы наносим токен, типа, все, вырубают.
They remain the same. When I woke up this morning and when I get up tomorrow morning, I have one mission, and that is to bring 1 billion people on chain. And when we accomplish that mission, when all of us working together accomplish that mission, we will build a global economy that massively increases innovation, creativity, and freedom. And so, my ask for all of you is that we cannot do this alone. I cannot do this alone. All of us need to come together. And the reason that we are here, the reason why this room is packed and why there's 1 million people on the stream is because over the last 2 years, tens of thousands of builders all around the world believed in Base. They believed and they showed up and they put in the work. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who believed for the last 2 years. But in this next chapter, we can't do it alone. It can't just be 10,000 of us. We are going to bring hundreds of millions of creators to join us. And then we're going to bring billions of people all around the world into this new economy. And the only way we can do that is if we do it together. For the hundreds of thousands of people who are on the wait list,
им нужно было, короче, взять и стрим, презентации сделать в этой эпке, и чтобы можно было покупать, короче, этот стрим. И, ну, и просто, я думаю, хайпа было бы просто какое-то безумное количество.
Get on the wait list. Over the next few weeks and months, we're going to be letting more and more people off. It's still early. We're just getting started, and it's a new day one. But let's keep building, let's keep creating, and let's stay based. Thank you, everybody!
Ну вот и все. Судя по всему, конец. Ну что ж, в целом, что скажем. Презентация, начало хорошее, концовка не очень, уныло закончили безумно. Из того, что представили, в целом все удалось прочитать. Революционного, наверное, прям ультра ничего нету, потому что по факту их продукт — это соединение всего, что сегодня есть, в одно удобное приложение. Вот. И по большей части какого-то геймченджа мы, думаю, не увидим после этой презентации. Я думаю, слишком было громко названо, но в любом случае есть как есть. Да, я думаю, что в целом у криптопространства есть такая фрустрация, что, вот как, например, там, да, что вот они говорят, там, типа, это вот для революция, там, каких-то, ну, для кого-то, для чего-то, и просто, ну, во многом это слишком такое, знаете, накрученное понятие, потому что много чего уже можно делать в онлайне, и очевидно, как бы, крипта меняет много концептов и так далее, но она прям, как сказать, слишком много revolutionary, очевидно все, ну, типа, как романтики слишком много в этом. Да, скорее всего, ну, хотя да, непонятно было, что там с трейдингом, я согласен, поэтому, в общем, спасибо всем за то, что присоединились к стриму. И до новых встреч. Да, никак, я думаю, мы сильно после этой презентации наш криптомир не поменяется. И точно не повлияет спекулятивно на разные там позиции. Поэтому всем спасибо еще раз. Всем спокойной ночи.